happens when you infuse hemp seeds and leaves in oil for 4 months? Well, you get a very hemp infused oil. Dum-dum. Into that, I'm adding goat milk, oatmeal, and my lye solution. And this is going to make an absolutely delicious hemp soap that I'm scenting with the essential oils of rosemary and peppermint, which just gives this a distinctively botanical smell and, well, appearance. And I will be slightly tinting, and only tinting this, with a little bit of spirulina, and just the smallest amount, because I only want this to have the faintest tint of green, because this is going to be a heart soap, well, as you've already seen in the photo, with an insert of a darker color green. So as you can see, this only tinted it a little bit. I didn't want anything at all dramatic here. I just didn't want it to be white, and wanted it to have just a little bit of the sort of a hemp seed color. If you've seen the heart of a hemp seed, I'm actually going to be putting some of these on top so you'll see them, but they are kind of a tannish green. I don't know how else to explain it. So that was what I was going for here, and actually was able to achieve. One of the things I forgot to mention is there are 2 of these molds, and I realize it's off center right now. I will move that over where you can see it in just a moment. But these have a heart insert in them, or rather it creates a heart cavity inside so that I can add a second color, which I do afterward. But these were a gift to me, and I just love them. It's 2 sets, and each of these holds 8 bars. So this is just a regular mold of soap that I made. Let me rephrase that. I only made enough soap here to fill one of my normal molds, but it worked perfectly, that recipe, for filling 2 of these 8-bar molds, and then making about 10 of my smaller hearts, which you'll see here in a moment. And that was just perfect. And like probably many of you that are soapers, I have so many different heart molds, and I'm not sure how I ended up with them. I would see one here, see one there, pick one up at a garage sale or otherwise, and so I've just ended up with a lot of them. But I don't think you can have too many hearts, can you? You know, I think I said this made 10 of these. I think it actually made 12 of these smaller ones. But I was really happy how far this stretched, and I'm just very happy using this blend of essential oils. And it's nothing new. Rosemary and mint, or whether it be peppermint or spearmint, has been around as a combination for a long time, and most soapers have made it at least once. I have made peppermint and I've made rosemary. I've never combined them before, and I'm very happy with the way this came out. It really was just perfect. And I was very happy with how easily these came out of the mold. Always do this, by the way. Stretch if you have these kind of silicone molds, stretch them in all directions, even diagonally, and that really does help to get them to release, especially these that have an insert in them like this. I had no problem with these. They came right out and very cleanly. Now you can also, if you have trouble with your soap sticking in these molds, I gave someone this tip earlier, but it's always worked for me. Put a little almond oil in a spray bottle and just spray your molds with that, and they won't stick. And what's nice about it is the soap will absorb that additional bit of oil. If it's not too much, just a little bit on the outside. You can either spray it in or brush it in, but either way, wipe it out a bit with a towel just to make sure there's no excess in there. You just want a very light cover. So next I made up a very tiny bit of soap, very tiny, and this is just spirulina is the color. That's all I'm using for the color is spirulina. And this time I just have water and my lye and a little bit of salt. And due to this being such a tiny little bit that I made up, I just hand blended this with the whisk. There just wasn't enough room for the stick blender for this. And it took a little bit longer, of course, but it's such a small amount, it wasn't too bad at all. And next, it's just time to fill the little hearts. Now, one thing I will say, the spirulina faded a little bit on me when it hardened, as you can see in the photos, sort of to a soft blue-green, which I'm not unhappy with, but I wish it had stayed darker. So I would add a little more of the spirulina next time. There's always a little bit of fading, but I'll double up on it. It's just in a tiny little batch like this, it's a little harder to gauge what the proper amount to use is, or was for me. And I had so much fun with this. I really did. I mean, it has hemp-infused oil and hemp oil in it. And these are topped with the hemp hearts as well, giving it just a real authenticity that I really like. Now, there is a lot of hubbub out there right now about hemp and cosmetics and things. I'm using it because I thought it might be fun, not for any other purpose. I really don't know enough about using it in soap to give any kind of advice on it. I don't think that you're probably going to get a whole lot of medicinal use out of using a bar soap that has hemp oil in it. Now, if you have an allergy to it, obviously you wouldn't want to use it, and I know at least one of my viewers does have an allergy to it, and I'm sure there are many other people that do as well, so you'd want to take a precaution there. But I was just very pleased with how it turned out. Very simple. They look like a cookie, don't they? And I'm sure this mold is probably made for a little cookie or cake or something anyway. But I usually make my own heart molds, but I want to tell you, I really enjoyed this one. This is a lot of fun. And I know others out there have used these type with where it makes the indention in it, and that's really cool. But this was my first use of them, and I was just so happy being able to do this, and so simply. Sometimes I think simple is good for us. It gives us a break from creativity. But I hope you all have a fantastic day. It has been just a joy communicating with you all over these holidays, and I'm really looking forward to the new year. Do you know my channel will be a year old in February? I'm just so excited about that. But thank you all so much. You're fantastic people, and I'm just so happy you're here. So have a terrific day, everyone, and I'll see you back soon. Goodbye.